Most people were taught how to memorize dates in history, solve equations they'd never use again, and follow rules someone else made up. But you know what they were never taught? Money rules, real ones. The kind that actually shape your life. And today we're about to fix that. Because you are about to learn 10 money rules nobody taught you. And by the end of it, you'll understand why budgeting, saving, credit, investing, insurance, all the stuff they made sound scary, is actually simple once you see the full picture. Not theoretical, not viral hacks, but a step-by-step path to financial wholeness that most schools, parents, and influencers never taught us. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being prepared. Because the truth is, nobody wins with money by accident. They win because they follow rules no one else even knows exist. And once you learn them, everything changes, not overnight, but over time. One decision at a time. And if you're serious about becoming the financially stable version of yourself, the one with options, time, and peace of mind, then this is the series you need. Stick around through every lesson. Some of these shifts will surprise you, some may challenge you. But all of them are tools the rich quietly use while the rest are told to just work harder. Let's kick things off with the first money rule that nobody really explained: budgeting, and why it's not what you think. If budgeting sounds like punishment, that's because most people learned it wrong. They think budgeting is about restriction, like financial calorie counting, but it's not. A real budget isn't about saying no to your life. It's about saying yes on purpose. When you build a budget that aligns with your values, your goals stop feeling like sacrifices and start feeling like choices. That's a power shift most people never experience. A budget is just a reflection of your priorities. Think of it like a GPS. You don't hate the GPS for showing you where you're off course. You use it to reroute. Same with money. When you track where it's going, you can redirect it before it disappears. And here's what's wild. The wealthiest people in the world still budget. Not because they have to, but because they know it's the fastest way to stay aligned with what actually matters. Income without intention is just chaos. That's why most lottery winners go broke. So instead of thinking about cutting expenses, start thinking about optimizing your future. Automate what you can, review it monthly, and keep it flexible. Your budget isn't a prison. It's a permission slip. And if that still feels overwhelming, don't worry. I'm building a Google Sheets command center to make this ridiculously simple. A dashboard that tracks your income, spending, investments, and goals all in one place. There's a link below if you want early access. Now that you understand how budgeting actually works, let's move on to the next rule nobody taught you: saving for what matters, and how most people get it completely wrong. Most people save only when something goes wrong. A blown tire, a medical bill, an emergency. But the wealthy? They save for opportunity, not just protection, and that's the difference. Rule number 2 in Money Rules Nobody Taught You is this: savings isn't just an umbrella, it's also a launch pad. There's a quote I love from Warren Buffett: "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." That one shift alone can flip your financial reality. Because when you treat savings like a non-negotiable, like rent or food, it stops being optional. And over time, it compounds into freedom. But here's the thing, nobody says out loud: saving is hard when your income barely covers the basics. So you don't start with big amounts, you start with small automatic ones. The point isn't how much, it's how consistent. Emergency funds, opportunity funds, investment seeds, these aren't fancy finance words. They're lifelines. And most people are one unexpected bill away from financial chaos because they never learned this rule. Want to test it? Automate 10% of your income into a separate savings account you never touch. Give it 90 days. Watch what happens. You'll realize it was never about discipline. It was about design. Moving forward, let's talk about the silent enemy of wealth: debt. The third rule is one nobody warns you about until it's too late. Debt is like financial quicksand. It doesn't always look dangerous at first. A credit card here, a small loan there, but before you know it, you're stuck, working just to pay for your past. That's the trap most people fall into. And the worst part? No one tells you how it sneaks up until it's already costing you freedom. Rule 3 is clear. Get intentional about digging out of debt, or it will quietly own your future. But here's the catch. It's not just about throwing every dollar at your balances. It's about creating a plan that works for your life. The avalanche method, highest interest first, works for some. The snowball method, smallest balance first, works for others. What matters is momentum. Debt thrives on shame and silence. That's how lenders profit, by keeping you stuck in the cycle. But the moment you get clear, track what you owe, and set a plan in motion, something flips. You start buying back your time, and that's worth more than any interest rate. Leave a comment below if this lesson hit home, especially if you've ever felt trapped by debt with no idea where to begin. You're not alone, and you're not broken. You're just ready for better. Let's move on to the next money rule nobody taught you: credit. It's not just a score, it's a passport to financial options. If budgeting is your GPS and saving is your launch pad, then credit is your passport. It opens doors most people don't even know exist. But unfortunately, credit has been turned into a fear tactic, a mysterious number used to judge you, punish you, or control you. That's the myth. Here's the truth. Credit is just a tool, and like any tool, it works for you when you understand it. Rule 4 is this: your credit score isn't just about borrowing, it's about building trust. Landlords, employers, even insurance companies use it to decide who you are financially. That number affects your interest rates, your down payments, and your leverage. But let's simplify it. Think of your credit score like your adult report card. Pay on time, that's attendance. Keep your balances low, that's your GPA. Don't open a dozen cards at once, that's extra credit. Or in this case, negative credit. You get the idea. Building credit doesn't require magic, it requires behavior. Small, consistent actions like paying off your card in full, keeping utilization under 30%, and not closing your oldest accounts can move the needle faster than you think. Most people sabotage their future because no one ever taught them how credit actually works. But now you know, and knowledge here is power, literal financial power. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated money rules out there, and probably the most important one for wealth building: learning to earn. We're taught how to spend money. We're told how to save it, but very few people are taught how to earn more of it, strategically. Not just more hours, not just more stress, but more income with more freedom. And that's where most financial plans fall short. Rule 5 is simple but life-changing. If you want to grow wealth, you must learn to earn intentionally. Your job is not your only source of income. It's just your starting point. Skills, leverage, and ownership are what unlock the next level. Wealthy people don't rely on just one stream. They look for ways to multiply their value. That doesn't mean you need to start 5 side hustles tomorrow. It means you need to think like a builder, not just a worker. What can you create, license, offer, or package that solves problems and scales? Sometimes the first step is just asking for what you're worth: a raise, a new opportunity, a pivot. Other times, it's building a new skill that makes you irreplaceable. But make no mistake, your ability to earn more is your greatest financial asset. This isn't hustle culture, it's strategy. When you learn to earn, everything else becomes easier. Saving, investing, even freedom itself. Because income is the engine, but growth is the fuel. Let's switch gears now. The next rule is where money starts multiplying in silence: investing. And this one? It's the rule that schools definitely skipped. Investing feels like gambling to people who were never taught the rules. Stocks, mutual funds, retirement plans, it's a foreign language to most, and that's exactly how the system likes it. At its essence, investing is simple: compound relentlessly, and stay patient. But this money rule, it's pure gold. Invest like an insider, not someone peeking in from the outside. There's a quote from Albert Einstein that says, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." That's not just poetic. It's a warning. Because if you're not investing, inflation is quietly robbing you. Here's the truth. The wealthy don't wait until they're rich to invest. They invest to become rich. And they don't try to time the market. They focus on time in the market. They automate monthly contributions into index funds, 401ks, or IRAs. They understand that even 100-month can grow into 6 figures over time. You don't need a finance degree, you need a strategy, a schedule, and some patience. Investing is just disciplined ownership, not speculation. Now let's talk about the rule no one thinks about until it's too late. Insurance. Insurance is the least exciting part of personal finance until you need it. Then it becomes everything. But let's be honest, most of us were never taught how it works. We see it as a monthly cost, not a strategic layer of protection. That's the flaw. Because Rule 7 is this: insurance isn't just about coverage, it's about continuity. Think of insurance like the airbags in a car. You hope you never use them. But when disaster strikes, they make the difference between survival and collapse. Health insurance, life insurance, disability, renters, auto, even umbrella policies, these aren't luxuries. They're shock absorbers for life. The wealthy don't just have insurance, they optimize it. They know which policies protect their assets, their income, their families. And while most people avoid it because it feels like extra, those same people often drain their savings because they weren't prepared. Here's the shift. Instead of asking, "Do I need this?" ask, "What would happen if I didn't have this?" That's how you start seeing insurance as strategic. You don't need to become an expert overnight. Just get curious. Talk to a financial advisor. Read the fine print. Protect what you've worked so hard to build. Now that you understand how risk fits into wealth building, let's move to the 8th money rule nobody taught you. And it might be the most revealing one yet. Your net worth. Most people check their bank account to see how they're doing. The wealthy, they check their net worth. That's the scoreboard that actually matters. Because income means nothing if your liabilities are growing faster. Rule 8 of money rules nobody taught you is this: if you can measure it, you can grow it. And net worth is what you need to measure. Here's a quote that says it all: money is not the goal. Money has no value. The value comes from the dreams money helps achieve. Oprah Winfrey. And your net worth tells you how close you are to those dreams. So what is it? Simple. Your assets minus your liabilities. What you own minus what you owe, not just your cash. Your investments, property, retirement accounts, minus your debts, loans, credit balances. That number is your true financial picture. Tracking it monthly helps you see trends. Are you growing, stagnating, or shrinking? Are you building freedom or just maintaining motion? That's why I'm building the Trip2Wealth Command Center, and to help you track all of this in one dashboard. Most people never improve their finances because they never see the whole system. But once you do, you can take control. Let's move on to Rule 9, one that's rarely mentioned but quietly essential. Your money team. We're told to figure everything out on our own. Google it, YouTube it, DIY your way to success. But when it comes to wealth, that mindset will slow you down, or worse, cost you. Rule 9 is this: wealth is a team sport, and if you don't have a money team, you're playing blindfolded. Think about every great athlete. They don't just train harder. They hire coaches, strategists, nutritionists, a support system. Your finances deserve the same. That doesn't mean you need to hire a full-time team tomorrow, but it does mean being intentional. Maybe it starts with a fee-only financial planner. Maybe it's a tax professional who saves you thousands in deductions. Maybe it's just a trusted friend who helps you stay accountable. The point is, don't go it alone. The wealthy surround themselves with expertise. They ask questions, they seek out mentors, they delegate what they don't know so they can focus on what they do. Too many smart people stay stuck because they think asking for help is weakness. It's not. It's leverage. And leverage is how you grow faster, safer, and smarter. As you level up financially, your money team becomes your force multiplier. Now let's wrap this journey with rule number 10, the one that turns money into meaning: legacy. We spend so much time trying to get money, we rarely stop to ask, what's it for? Rule 10 is the most powerful one of all, because it's not about income, investments, or net worth. It's about impact. Leave a legacy, not just money, but memory, meaning, momentum. Legacy means setting things up so your loved ones aren't left guessing. Wills, trusts, beneficiaries, healthcare directives. No one wants to talk about it until it's too late. But the wealthiest families, they plan this stuff decades in advance. That's how generational wealth happens. You don't need millions to start. You just need clarity. Who do you want to protect? What do you want to leave behind? And how can your money serve a purpose even after you're gone? This rule also includes generosity, teaching your kids, giving back, funding a cause you believe in. Legacy isn't about being famous. It's about being intentional. And here's the secret. Planning your legacy isn't about dying. It's about living better today. When you know what matters most, it becomes easier to say no to what doesn't. So whether you're starting your first savings account or planning your estate, remember this: money is a tool. Legacy is the blueprint. Let's bring everything we've covered together in one clear, powerful recap. Because what you do next matters most. You just learned the 10 money rules nobody taught you. But information means nothing without action. Start small. Start today. Build a budget that reflects your values. Save not just for emergencies, but for opportunities. Dig out of debt, not with shame, but with strategy. Use credit to unlock leverage, not fear. Learn to earn beyond your job. Invest like an insider, patiently and consistently. Use insurance to protect your progress. Track your net worth so you know where you're going. Surround yourself with people who know more than you. And never forget, your legacy starts now, not someday. Each of these rules is a layer. Stack them. Apply one at a time. This isn't a sprint. It's a system. You'll be shocked how quickly things start to shift once you're operating with a real framework. And if you want a tool to help you implement all of this, check the link below to join the early waitlist for the Trip2Wealth Command Center. It's designed to make every one of these steps easier. Let's build wealth with intention, not confusion. The rules are now yours. Use them. If you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below, especially if this video made you think differently. I appreciate your support more than you know. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.